I want to talk to you about RFID inventory tracking. And when you think about inventory optimization, you got to really pay attention to RFID this year. So here are the importance of technology. Tech matters. So RFID inventory tracking allows you to manage inventory without having to scan every single item, right? The whole thing is you do not want to be in a position where you have to scan every single item. You can even use RFID tracking in store to track purchases. So that's really cool. Okay, now let me really go back to RFID technology 101. So, what is RFID inventory tracking? So, radio frequency identification inventory tracking and management, RFID, is actually a system that uses radio waves to transmit data from RFID tags to RFID readers, which really process the information from the tags to update inventory databases. So you have two important criteria here. You have RFID tags and you also have RFID readers. So you got to have those two components if you want your RFID inventory optimization process to actually work. And the cool thing is you can apply an RFID inventory management system across your business operations, including real-time inventory tracking, supply chain management, and instant checkout in retail stores. So the cool thing is that you have the multiple application of the technology in a very seamless manner, okay, in a non-intrusive manner. And an RFID inventory system can even replace cashiers. I mean, it depends on the setup, but you can have a RFID replacing cashiers and warehouse operators, leading to reduced labor cost without sacrificing inventory accuracy, if that's needed, of course. There are two kinds of RFID systems. You have passive RFID and active RFID. So, an active RFID system uses tags that continuously broadcast signals using using its own power source. Now, passive RFID tags don't have an internal power source. Instead, they are powered by a reader's electromagnetic field when they are in range. The cool thing is both systems can be useful in RFID inventory management. Now, let me talk to you about how does RFID inventory management work. So, number one, each item receives an RFID tag, right? So this occurs at manufacturing plants or when an item enters a company's supply chain. So these tags contain a unique identifier and potentially other relevant information about the item, such as type, serial number, or manufacturing date. So some items receive multiple tags to enable more sophisticated tracking, especially when you have a high value. If you have high value items, you might want to have a multi-tag situation. So number one, each item receives an RFID tag. Number two, RFID readers scan information from tags. So businesses install RFID readers at specific locations within buildings and vehicles, including at doors and checkpoints, and also in storage areas. So every facility where you think an RFID inventory optimization method can be helpful, install it there. Now, these readers emit ultra high frequency radio waves and capture the data from the RFID tags when an item with the tag passes within range. Number three, the readers transmit data to computers. So when a reader captures information from RFID labels, it sends the inventory data to a computer network known as a central inventory management system. And number four, and this is really where it becomes interesting, the system syncs the data, and it does it in a very holistic manner. Okay, the central inventory management system sends real-time data to all machines on its network, providing the latest information about an item's location. And finally, data is tracked across the inventory management process. So thanks to the RFID system, humans and computers alike can track each item's real-time location, quantity, and sales status. And this form of robust data collection lets companies monitor inventory levels, move items to where they are needed, such as stores or distribution centers, and replenish their supply chains in real time. So that's kind of cool. I mean, of course, when you have AI getting to the RFID equation lately, is even making the RFID more powerful. Okay, artificial intelligence, that is. Let me go a little more granular into passive versus active RFID. A little earlier, I explained to you, rather briefly, the difference between passive and active RFID. Now, I want to really go more granular. So, passive versus active RFID. What's really the difference? So, the thing is that passive RFID and active RFID actually differ in their use of electrical power within RFID system. So here is a quick comparison of the two technologies. So first, the power source. So how they're similar. Both passive RFID and active RFID require electromagnetic currents. So you got to have the electromagnetic current for those two systems to work. How are they different? Well, passive RFID tags are powered by the reader's electromagnetic field during data transmission, making them lighter and less expensive. Active RFID tags have their power source, such as battery, allowing them to broadcast signals. And they can broadcast signals independently. So this provides a more extended read range and continuous data transmission. So speaking about data transmission, how are they similar? Both passive and active RFID systems enable real-time tracking through communication between RFID tags and readers. How are they different? Well, passive tags only transmit data when the tag is within an RFID reader's electromagnetic field. Active tags share data at regular intervals, meaning distant readers can track them. What about the lifespan here? So, how are they similar? Passive and active RFID systems require functioning tags, readers, and software. So, if readers stop working or software becomes outdated, the system can no longer track inventory. How are they different? Well, passive RFID tags potentially can last for decades, as there are no internal batteries that can expire. The lifespan of their batteries limits active tags. Some of these batteries can be replaced. Other active tags must be discarded when their batteries die. So that's really a bummer. The cost, how are they similar? Both passive and active RFID systems require investing in readers and computer software, which can cost anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000,000, depending on the breadth and depth of your infrastructure, operations, and inventory management processes. How are they different? Well, passive RFID tags cost pennies, whereas active tags often starts at about $25 and can cost far more depending on their features. So this makes active RFID systems more expensive than passive systems. So what are the benefits of RFID inventory management? Let's quickly talk about that. Well, you do have full inventory visibility, right? You have tracking inventory levels in real time. You have more accurate data. That's really important. You also have smooth implementation process. Let me explain a little bit here. So when I talk about full inventory visibility, when it's what it's in a factory, a ship, a truck, a warehouse, or a retail store with an RFID system, inventory can be monitored and tracked no matter where it is. So the location doesn't matter anymore. So I was talking about tracking inventory levels in real time. So an RFID system instantly updates product databases, letting your team track inventory in real time. So that's really good. Even better, you don't have to wait for daily or weekly inventory reports. You have more accuracy in your data. So when it comes to asset tracking, what happens here is that automated RFID tracking can be more precise than manual inventory checks. Sorry about that. At each stage of a product's journey, readers scan the inventory, okay, and update its location, vastly reducing the potential for user error. You also have smooth implementation process. So adding RFID checkpoints to an existing factory, retail store, or a warehouse environment is relatively easy because the scanners can also integrate with your company's existing systems, whether that's an inventory management software, an enterprise resource planning system, or a point of sale. So when you talk about the benefits of RFID inventory, you also have to account for cost savings, loss prevention and security, improved customer experiences, and also other benefits. But basically, let me first talk about the last three. So cost savings. So not only can RFID systems provide greater data accuracy than humans scanning QR codes or barcode labels, they can also cost less in the long run. So from a scalability point of view, you are having an economies of scale issue here. So initial implementation may cost thousands of dollars, don't get me wrong, and that's true. But once you are past the upfront expenses, RFID systems can stay operational for years. So think of it as an initial investment you can amortize over time. You also have loss prevention and security. So RFID tags help prevent retail shrink, including losses from shoplifting. So active RFID tags can track stolen products after they leave the store. So this can help law enforcement apprehend criminals and help your business recover valuable merchandise. Finally, you also have improved customer experiences. So RFID can improve customer service by ensuring product availability, accurate orders, and faster checkout processes. And that's kind of cool because you are able you're able to optimize the customer experience big time. In some cases, RFID systems allow customers to purchase items from a retail store without even visiting a checkout counter. In these instances, RFID systems track the merchandise people select from shelves. So using the data collected from these systems, the type and quantity of items taken, the store can then bill the customer's credit or debit card. So that's really fantastic because it creates a streamlined experience. So this streamlined experience can promote overall customer satisfaction over time. So that's really good. So one thing for sure, you want to make sure that you have an inventory management system that includes RFID in a native manner. It has to be native. It has to be integrated from the get-go. Okay, so that you can really forecast demand. You can get low stock alerts, and you can create purchase orders without actually leaving your inventory system or even your POS system. So that's important. So I just talked to you about the benefits of RFID. What are the limitations? And in other words, you have some drawbacks. Okay, you have upfront costs, that's for sure. You have data accuracy concerns. You have data security and privacy. You have tag interference and range limitations, and you also have staff training and change management. So when I talk about upfront costs, it can cost a lot of cash to implement an RFID system. Expenses include RFID tags, radars, software, and training. So in an active RFID tag system, you can sometimes spend tens, if not hundreds, of dollars for a single tag. You can conduct a cost-benefit analysis to see if an RFID system is worth the cost for your business. You also have data accuracy concerns. So if multiple readers pick up a signal from the same RFID tag at once, the result is known as a tag collision and can lead to potential reading errors. You do not want to have that. So this is typically only an issue with longer range systems, and RFID vendors may offer anti-collision algorithms to address this issue. You also have a data security and privacy. So if your business handles sensitive data, you may have concerns about the privacy and security of RFID data stored in your systems. So, proper security measures, including encryption and access controls, must be in place to mitigate potential risks. And you may also want to ask your RFID vendor about how and when tracking is turned off. That's important if you want to protect the data, the underlying data. You also have a tag interference and range limitations. So RFID tags, particularly passive tags, can only transmit data when in range of a reader. So radio frequency interference from metals, liquids, or other materials can affect the read range and accuracy of RFID tags. Make sure to set up readers where the signal will not be blocked and extends over the entire area you wish to cover. Finally, you have staff training and change management. So employees need a proper training to understand and effectively use RFID technology. So resistance to change and lack of training can impede the successful adoption and use of the RFID system. So implementation may be a sensitive topic among employees who see their work potentially replaced by automated systems. So let me give you a few extras here. Again, we are speaking about how to use RFID inventory tracking. It's important to understand that there is actually a clear difference between barcode and RFID inventory management. Okay, so barcodes and their close cousins, QR codes, must be manually scanned to transmit information. Without manual scanning, nothing is happening. Now, RFID readers automatically scan tags that align with their program radio frequency. So you have a manual versus automatic sort of process here. And when you think about RFID inventory, how accurate is the whole thing? Well, RFID systems can achieve a near perfect read accuracy when tags are placed correctly and the RFID readers are positioned optimally. Okay, so proper tag placement and reader calibration are crucial to ensure reliable data capture. That's what I said to you a little earlier when I said the initial investments when it comes to a RFID setup can be a lot, and that's why, because you need to calibrate all those readers at the very beginning. Now, how much does implementing an RFID inventory management system cost? It really depends. The cost of implementing an RFID inventory management system varies widely based on the implementation's scale, the RFID solution's complexity, the required features, and the business's specific needs. So it's just better to contact your RFID vendor for custom price quotes, or let us know in the comment section what your business is all about and we can really guide you further. Now, one thing for sure, our RFID tracking is not suitable for all kinds of businesses. I mean, the process is most suitable for businesses that can absorb significant upfront implementation changes and charges, by the way, and must track merchandise at different points along the supply and delivery chain. So, small single location stores and DTC e-commerce retailers may need help finding RFID systems worth the price. So, DTC here we are speaking about direct to a customer. So, what are the primary industries that benefit from RFID inventory tracking? Well, you have a lot. You have apparel. You have pharmaceuticals, automotive, aerospace, food and beverage, logistics. These industries tend to have many types of products circulating through complex supply and distribution chains. So here's a quote into this conversation I spoke to about how to use RFID inventory tracking. I spoke about tech matters. And then now I give you the extras. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.